food which are manufactured with maida. They are fried, they are salty. So these three items which are fried, which are mixed up with maida, and those who contains too much of sweet, these three are the killers. They are the silent killers.
How safe are supplementary foods? Are there any cases of sugar and refined sugar?
If a family body totally not taking any sugar, they're not taking any high salt diet, they're not taking any fruit juice, for successive 3 months, you just see what is the change in their life. There are so many developmental disorders may happen. It is not only due to the screen, too much of giving screen time during your taking food is absolutely wrong.
For 6 months, the baby should be on breast milk, and that is like a non-negotiable.
Even with advancement of the science, we are placing satellites in the geostationary stations over the orbit, but still 60% of our mother in India, they doesn't know that breast milk up to 6 months is very much important. The intermittent fasting, fasting is not good.
Okay.
Not good for the health.
ट्रेडिशनल हैबिट्स जैसे कहते हैं बच्चे को घिस घिस के तेल मालिश करते हैं, काजल लगाते हैं, नजर टीका, देन एट द सेम टाइम एक्सपोजिंग टू सनलाइट, मतलब तेल मालिश करके लाई डाउन अंडर द सनलाइट. हाउ ओके दे आर दे सेफ?
Mother's vagina, it is also a well-becued place that baby will go through it.
Welcome to Modern Monk. Today we have Dr. Anindya Kundu. He is a practicing pediatrician in Kolkata and suburbs, and he is practicing for the last 27 years. His knowledge in pediatrics, rich experience, makes him a very different kind of a doctor. Let's welcome him on the show. Welcome to Modern Monk.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. চাইল্ড হেলথ ন্যাশনাল হেলথ মিশন যে ডেটা দেখাচ্ছে তাতে বলছে যে 26 মিলিয়ন চিলড্রেন আর বর্ন এভরি ইয়ার ইন ইন্ডিয়া, যেটা অলমোস্ট 1/5 অফ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ডস চাইল্ড বার্থ. তো এই যে প্রিটার্ম বেবিস যারা বর্ন হচ্ছে, এদের সাথে কি কোনো হেলথ কমপ্লিকেশন অ্যাসোসিয়েট হচ্ছে, আর সেটা কি বড় বয়সে গিয়েও ম্যানিফেস্ট হতে পারে?
Thank you. So, I am Dr. Anindya Kundu, freelance pediatrician, doing pediatric practice for more than 27 years in Kolkata. The most important thing is the National Health Survey, NHFSC survey of 2024-2023. It states that so far the data of different sectors is more or less your well, rather than the previous years or previous less than 10 years like that, more than 10 years like that. Preterm babies born is more or less reduced in data. Even the preterm, that is means those who are born before the age of 37 weeks, that total gestation week is 37 weeks. So at 37 weeks, there are the most important organ, that is the lungs, is developed. So if the baby is born before the 37 weeks, the baby is called preterm. So baby's lung is not so mature. So it is not expected that baby will take air properly. It's very compromised state. Not only lungs, heart, kidney, brain, all are not developed properly. So this is called preterm baby. When the baby is born at the preterm state, not only the 37, it may born at 24 weeks. It may be the 30 weekers, 32 weekers. So it's a very tough job for the people, those who are doctors who are doing the saving the preterm babies. The work is very difficult because they are coming into a noxious environment. The mother's body is giving the nutrition, giving everything like that. So when they are coming in the world, it is a noxious one for them. So it is very your weather, bad atmosphere to live with them. But science is very much developed. There are so many factors are there. So to manage the preterm babies, there are tertiary centers are growing up. But What are the causes of preterm? That when the pregnancy cannot be you're going on beyond 30 weeks, 34 weeks, 37 weeks, like that. So there are so many factors are there. If you think about the causes in India, that may be different rather than the Western world. In India, mother of having hemoglobin 9, they are giving birth to a child of more than 10, more than 5, like that. It is astonishing factor that how a mother of 9 hemoglobin can giving birth third time. So poverty, there is some your macronutrient, micronutrient deficiencies are there. Maternal hypertension, those who are having blood pressures, those having your stress factors in their life. So those who have your diabetes, those who are short your stature, so those who are twin pregnancy, more than twin pregnancies. So these are the more your relevant cause you are finding out in Kolkata, in India. But if you think about the causes of the Western world, that is the stress factor, maternal age, more than 35, maternal hypertension, maternal sleep disorder, maternal diabetes, maternal other comorbidities like kidney diseases, those who are taking regular medications. So these are the factors of having the preterm. But when the extreme preterm is there, it is a challenge of the pediatrician. So to make them viable, make them giving lives, giving the everything. So this is all about the treatment. There are so many your advance in the treatment, like the surfactant therapy, like the good antibiotics, good environment. Good environment which doesn't have any infection, because infections are everywhere. The preterm, they are very much prone to having the infection. So infection barrier also is very important thing. And even there is immature kidneys. So we have to take care of them. So if you think about the national health data like that, so not only the preterm, the data are more or less your encouraging the fact that preterm your labor, apart from the other years, it is little bit reduced. Preterm morbid, that is your mortality, that is child death rate below the age of 1 month, that is called neonatal mortality rate, it is reduced. Then under 5 mortality rate, it is also reduced. So this is about the, if your question's answer is the basically the preterm. So this is a challenging factor to give them a good treatment. But extremely preterm or the preterm child, those who needs treatment, the cost is very high.
Okay.
Think about the scenario in India. But if you think about today's scenario versus the scenario of 15, 20 years back, that is SNCU, NICU, this type of hospital setup, it is very much developed. So this is the nutshell about the scenario preterm delivery in India.
Since you're practicing for 27 years, and that's like a rich experience. So, is there any like major or critical health scenario with regard to babies or children in the last 10 years? What does your observation say?
What we actually think about for today's age, that food and nutrition is the most important thing for the your body's nurture. And if you think about the long life, it's important thing. So if you think about your 50 years or 80 years before, life expectancy was around 60 years, like that. But nowadays, we know that life expectancy is becoming more, even approaching 75, 73, like that. Nowadays, we are thinking that life expectancy may be becoming 100, like that. If you think about, I can live up to 100, but you have to think it from the 0 days of your life. Why? you know that what are the good food for your cellular nutrition, not only the nutrition at a glance. So what your kind of food your cell, your tissue wants. So we have to know like that. So there are some good foods like that. You all know that your carbohydrate, fat, protein, minerals, vitamins, what potable water, good quality of the water. It is very much important thing. So if a child from the 0 days of life, if they are getting a good nutrition, so tissue will get a proper nutrition. So टिश्यू का your time to time with age advance it become some deteriorations is there are some age oriented change will be there. You can halt that change by giving a good quality of the food.
For 6 months, the baby should be on breast milk. And that is like a non negotiable.
Breast milk is very important thing. Breast milk. Every baby should take mother's milk. From the early birth, the baby should not be separated from the mother's womb. Baby and mother should be in a same bed. Separations from the mother is the big blow to the baby's health. So when if you are thinking that baby and mother is a single object, so baby will have a good atmosphere, good room to take normal nutrition, normal fooding. Mother's milk is very much important. It contains all the nutrients your for the baby's growth. That is national survey of 2023-24. This says that even with advancement of the science that we are placing satellites in the geostationary stations over the orbit, but still 60% of our mother in India, they doesn't know that breast milk up to 6 months is very much important. They doesn't know. So this is the scenario in India. And even after 6 months, what is the right food to give to the baby? They are taking the suggestion from the Sasuma or they are self taking the decision. So even more than 55% of the mother, they are taking the decision that what food they are taking. And what the Sasuma is saying, they are thinking for the tradition of what they are taking in their life food, what they are taking in the past, they are giving the same information to the Bahuma. So this is happening in India. So that scenario is very bad. You know that 60% of the mother they are exclusively breastfeed. I'm not talking about breastfeeding. I'm talking about no food other than breastfeed. No cow's milk, no goat's milk, no camel's milk. Only mother's milk is only and only is the important thing. But after 6 months, the baby needs more calorie, more calorie. So mother's milk is not so efficient giving the full nutrition after your 6 months. They need more milk, more calorie. So the food what you are you are to give after 6 months. So this is called complementary food. So that is also National Family Health Survey. They also giving the data that good complementary food Indian mothers only 40% of the baby they are taking the good nutritious food. So whatever they are taking, their lack of calorie. If you think a baby of 7 months, they are taking the gruel, they're taking the vegetable soup. This is not the actual food. They need more calorie, they need protein, they need good carbohydrate, and they need iron, rich food. So it is lacking in the diet. So if these food are lacking in their diet day by day like that, so are becoming micronutrient deficient. These micronutrient deficiencies give rise to iron deficiency anemia, zinc deficiency, vitamin D deficiency. So end of the day, what will happen? Indian children, they have got your mean hemoglobin of 2 to 3 gram less rather than the babies of Western world. If the hemoglobin is less, that will give rise to that brain development is going on, that cognition, that good thinking, one-size thinking, that is lost. So that is important thing for the brain development also. That is lacking. So even the data, coming to the data, like under 5 years in India, even in 1979 to 80, that 50% of the child, they are iron deficiency anemia, 70% of whole anemic. Still the ratio, till the value is going on even at 2023 and 24. School going children, the 50% of them, they have anemia. It may be the
This is urban data?
it is all. It's not the urban.
Okay.
It's also in the metropolis area. So they are iron deficient anemia. They have got zinc deficiency. They have got vitamin D deficiencies. That deficiency is going on. Still, it is an astonishing factor that with iron deficiency, with vitamin D deficiencies, but our Indian child, they are so many talented. They are doing job in the NASA. They are doing the different job in Western world, in the science field, in the agricultural field, everything like that. So it is a very astonishing factor that if they are your micronutrient is the deficiency was not there, so what will be the level of the Indian child? But on the other hand, if you think about the Indian child like that there are so many good stories are there, because there are your access of potable water is there in the different your cities, different villages. Every village is like that. That people don't take water from the ponds. They are not taking water directly from any water source like that. So refined water, purified water is very they are taking. So on that issue, that waterborne diseases like cholera, like your hepatitis A, other your amoebiasis or any other vector-borne diseases, it is less. It is reduced. So good health hygiene, patient are take your hand wash is important thing. So every people they are washing their hands. Every child they are washing their hands. They get vaccination against the typhoid. They are get vaccinated against the hepatitis A. So they're taking the potable water. So the waterborne diseases more or less reduced a lot in the last 20 years. But the disease of last 10 years, some diseases are increasing. That is also side by side with the micronutrient deficiencies. We are very much alert that why these diseases are growing on.
And if you can explain what are those diseases?
So the diseases like it is not only in the affluent society, it is also there in the villagers people, in the others people like that. So many diseases like nutritional disease, you can ask for it. That people are changing. That world is changing. That in our childhood we are taking food, raw fruits. We are taking guava. We are taking sugar cane. We are taking apple. But nowadays we are thinking about taking the apple juice in the breakfast table or in the supper.
Orange juice, yeah.
We are not taking the roti as a whole. We are taking the white bread. We are taking some. What are the we are taking? We are taking a good. Those foods looks very good like that. So we are keen to the Western world, and we are taking more or less food which are manufactured with maida. They are fried. They are salty. So these three items, which are fried, which are mixed up with maida, and those who contains too much of sweet, these threes are the killers. They are the silent killers. So usually I am using a word that our your tongue has the papilla. This is the taste bud for the bitter thing, for the sweet thing, for the salty thing like that. I always ask mother that you have two sleeping giants in your tongue papilla. That is too much of sweet, for the too much of sweet and too much of salty food like that. You are giving a child your bland diet, like khichdi you are giving smashed potato, you are taking some fishes. But if you, in the same time, you are taking some sweets, you are taking Cadbury's, you are taking your sugar cane, any fruit juice, canned fruit juice, or any salty thing like whatever they are the packet, your snacks are there in the market, you are taking that. The child has understand that this is salty, this is sweetie, but and he is becoming more inclined to take that salty food and your sweet food like that. Just to imagine a 1.5 year boy or 2 years boy or girl, they are taking that. Sometimes they're taking that, giving the grandfather, grandmother, they're giving that is your salty papa, salty chips like that, and or not the mithai ka koi bhi part jo hota hai. If they are giving, so you expect that mom is giving the bland diet and he is taking. He doesn't have any taste for the salty or sweet like that. Nowadays also we are you are coined a word that we have two types of food. That is, one is the inflammatory food and one is the cool food or good food. Inflammatory food means that we give rise to your inflammation in the body. So inflammation is not a thing like that. That inflammation having that is your immediate effect. It is a slowly effect like that in your body that will make your all the organs is becoming some type of your aging like that. So food which are inflammatory means those who are fried food, those who are white carbohydrate means chada rice, then too much of salt, too much of sweets. So if you plan that I don't like the food which are manufactured with white maida, they are manufactured with sugar, that is manufactured with your fried everything. If you discard this stuff, food from everybody's diet, that good food, that is the good food. So that is it's become rice. We have so many lentils are there. We are sprouts, the very good thing. Seasonal fruits is very good thing. So these are the good foods. And those who are you are non-vegetarian by birth, so be non-vegetarian and try to give fish to your child even at the age of 6 to 7 months. Sometimes we have my meat that don't to take fish or anything before the age of 1 year. So there is no science behind it. You can give fish, you can give egg at the age of 8 to 9 months like that. So you have to introduce different types of foods at the 6 to 8 months onwards like that. It is also seen that if the child is exposing to different types of fruits in very early foods from very early ages of life from 6 to 8 months, there is a less occurrence of food allergy in their ensuing lives. It's very important thing. So this is about the nutritional health. Then come to the other points that is also a psychological health like that. You know that in metropolis area, only we cannot imagine a couple between them, father is doing job and mother is not doing job. It is becoming a rare phenomenon. You know that mother and father both are busy. And even at the same time, they are young, your father-in-law and the young mother-in-law, they are also doing the job. So who will take care of the baby after the 4 or 5 months like that? When the leave is become for the lactation period is become expired after 6 months, so the baby's care is very much deficient. In the areas where the nuclear family is become more, where the child care is become deficient. So 1.5 year child, the mother parents are sending them to your nearby daycare center. But if something is good, because in the daycare center, baby is acquainted with the babies of same age. So social development is very good because we are backdated. It is hard to believe that their Salka baby, the parents, they are sending them to the your daycare center. But still, as the doctor, I'm telling you that if the center is become good, so some social interactions is there, social interaction is very important for the neuronal development, so that development is good. So mothers better parental care is important thing. If the parents are you're insufficient for giving the adequate care, they have to think of it for the baby's care. So when the care is become lost, baby is taking time. So what will be the best thing for killing time? That is the screen. So baby chup ho jayega when you are giving some objects to them. The most your important objects is giving him the cell phone. So cell phone de do, baby chup ho jayega, and you can feed him early. So very early, it will take only 10 minutes when the baby is seeing the cell phone. But without cell phone, it will take half an hour. So you are making your baby concentrated to a small object. When the baby is doing his full concentration over the small object, so your concentration has become localized to a 4 inches by 6 inches object. What is going on in the vicinity? They are lost. They are having no care for this. There are so many developmental disorder may happen. It is not only due to the screen, but screen time is too much of giving screen time during your taking food. It is absolutely wrong. So we are thinking that baby is quiet, baby is calm. It is better to go for the mobile phone. So it is something this we are making our child vulnerable for this world.
Since you're talking about nutrition and also supplementary foods, so just to understand, like, how safe are supplementary foods, and are there any cases of sugar and refined sugar
No, why you are
in these foods?
why you are thinking of your food, packed food, or the food from the shop? Homemade food is very important thing. You give thick ডাল, ইভেন আমরা যেটা বলি একটা thick ডাল রয়েছে তার মধ্যে আপনি ভাত দেবেন, ভাতের মধ্যে ডাল না, ডালের মধ্যে ভাত দেবেন, so that the baby will get at least good quantity of your protein. That is important. Then if you give some iron supplement, iron is you are coming from the other foods like leafy vegetables, from other vegetables like that. Even you are giving the iron supplement free of cost from the PHC level. You take the iron supplementation. Even if there are some worm infestation is there, worm infestation is the major health problem in India. So you give the your medicines for the worm at the regular level. And take care of your hand washing is important. Take care for your hand and soul for washing, and wearing chappal, wearing shoes every time. So it is important thing. So hand hygiene, then good food is important. So there is no question of your of food from the shop. Yes, but again I'm talking that intermediary food is the sugar, too much of maida, and the fried food. So any food which contains sugar, it is not good. Why the manufacturing company they are giving the sugar? If they are giving sugar for the baby will take it in a good way. So that is the thing like that. But if you don't introduce any sugar to the tongue of a child, so baby cannot know that what is the taste of a sugar. Baby cannot know that what is the sweet things like that. So what is the question of giving the sugar in the food? So sugar is not at all a good food. Salt is not at all a good food. If you don't introduce sugar and salt in a very cautious way from the early age.
Till how long?
No, as long as you can.
Possible.
Even at
Yeah.
good age, sugar is good, not a good food. Salt is not a good food. No. So if at extreme condition that the baby's diet is not good enough, so definitely the your clauses are there that we are giving some complementary food which is there in the market, and the food they are in the market, they contain some sugar, but there are some guidelines. They are obeying the guidelines. So without the guidelines, nobody cannot sell any food in India. But in Indian scenario, their sugar content sometimes will become more than the Western world. But regarding the FSSI guideline. So they are maintaining this thing. But still, I'm talking another thing. The food which contains sugar is not good. আমরা ছোটবেলায় কিছু খাবার খেতাম, দুটো ড্রিঙ্কস আমরা খুব খেতাম, নাম বলবো না। তো আমাদের মা বলতো ওগুলো না খেলে চলবে না।
আমরা তো খুব খেয়ে
আমরা
এসেছি।
খেয়ে এসেছি। আপনি ওগুলোকে দেখবেন,
হ্যাঁ,
সেটার মধ্যে ইউ উইল বি অ্যাস্টোনিশড, তাদের 100 গ্রামের মধ্যে তাদের 30 থেকে 40 গ্রাম সুগার ছিল। তার মানে আপনি 100 গ্রামের মধ্যে আপনি দেখছেন এতটা মতো তার মধ্যে সুগার থাকতো। আমরা চো করে খেয়ে নিতাম।
হ্যাঁ।
আবার কি করতাম,
না হলে খেতাম না।
আমরা হাতে ধরে ধরে খেতাম। অনেকে কিছু যে খাবারগুলো ছিল সেটা আমরা হাতে খেতাম। কেন খেতাম? কেন
টেস্ট
খেতাম?
টেস্ট
টেস্টি ছিল, চুরি করে খেতেন। কেন খেতেন? তার মানে সুগারটা বেশি ছিল বলে। কিন্তু এখন সিনারিও ইজ ডিফারেন্ট। নিউট্রিশন একটা ভেরি অ্যাডভান্সিং সাবজেক্ট। সো সুগার ইজ নট গুড, সুগার ইজ কিলিং ইউর সেল। সো দে আর ইউর compelled to lower down their sugar. এখন দেখবেন মার্কেটে জিরো সুগার বলে কিছু পাওয়া যায়, নো সুগার বলে পাওয়া যায়। কেন পাওয়া যাচ্ছে? বিকজ আমাদের কনসাসনেসটা বেড়েছে। আমাদের গভর্নমেন্টের যে অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটিভ যে নর্ম সেটা আরো টাইটেন্ড হয়েছে। আমাদের কিছু নিউট্রিশনাল বডি, গভর্নমেন্ট বডি তৈরি করেছে, সেগুলো একটা ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার রয়েছে, তাদের একটা কিছু নর্মস রয়েছে, তারা এগুলো মেনে চলছে। তো এগুলোর জন্য আমাদের ফুড জিনিসগুলো এখন অনেক ভালো হয়েছে। সুতরাং যে খাবারগুলো ইজিলি, ওরা কি চেষ্টা করবে, ওরা চেষ্টা করবে বেশি নোনতা খাবার দেবো, বেশি মিষ্টি খাবার দেবো, so that the baby will child, baby will take it. But no, this is not that.
হেলথ ড্রিঙ্কস, সাপ্লিমেন্টারি ফুড, এই সবগুলো যখন টাচই হলো, তো নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন দ্যাট আই ওয়ান্টেড টু আস্ক ইউ ওয়াজ অ্যাবাউট ওবেসিটি।
এই জিনিসগুলো যদি আপনি খেয়েই যান বারবার করে করে, from 2 years of life, 1 year of life, and baby is, and the child is utilizing 4 to 6 hours in their day during screen time. So how do you expect baby is not running? So every carbohydrate बोलिए क्या fat बोलिए क्या protein बोलिए, it will be converted into fat. The fat not only the visible in the tummy, the fat is also deposited in the heart. This is on the outside or in the vessels, in the liver, in the form of fatty liver, over the coronary arteries like that. So eventually we are observing heart attack at the age of 20 years, heart attack at the age of 30 years, kidney failure at the age of 30 years, hypertension at the age of 15 years. So we are observing this thing, that it is a rare disease 50 years back. So our scenario of taking food is different. It has become westernized. We have become inclined to the sugary food, salty food.
Is child obesity also on the rise?
It is in the rise. It is in the rise. Definitely it is in the rise.
So what do you recommend to the parents? Because it is, I don't know, but it is more to do with parents than the child, or it is social interaction, or everything
Right.
together.
Actually, the doctors or your nutritionist has a very low role for the nutritional scenario. I think if you think that mother and father, they are taking junk food, they have prestige, they have salty food, sugary food in their fridge, they have cold drinks in their fridge, they are taking so many others beverages like that. But how will you expect that your 7 years child will not open the fridge and take the cold drinks, take a bite from the cake, take a bite from the sugary food? You don't expect. So first, parents should be knowledgeable that what I am doing, what I am taking is not good. So at the same time, first of all, the parents should be learned that what is the good food. If the parents is starting, they're starting having a good marketing of right good food, right good vegetables, leafy vegetables, fresh food. They are not giving, they are not taking any that is a preservative wala food, that is preserved food. So definitely the quality of the life is increasing. If a person, if a family body totally, they are not taking any sugar, they're not taking any high salt diet, they're not taking any fruit juice, for successive 3 months, you just see what is the change in their life. Just after 3 months, they should not do any blood test. Just to ask them what is the change? They will give you the data that I am becoming more energetic, I can run. So eventually, the child in their home, they also learn.
I think this is very important. That 3 months thing that you said, I mean, people can actually practice and experiment and see what can happen in just 3 months.
Just 3 months.
You're not talking about 3 years, but just three.
3 years. But
Yeah.
it's like that. Some people we have seen that they are think the intermittent fasting. You know,
Yeah.
intermittent fasting is not good.
Okay.
Not good for the health. Too much of intermittent fasting like that. So you are fasting till 12, you're 2 o'clock. It's not good. Intermittent fasting means you are taking the meal at 7 to 8 p.m. like that, not beyond 8 p.m.
Yes.
7 is the most ideal thing. Don't take anything else at morning. At 8 o'clock, you just take the breakfast. But we have seen that extreme. If you go for the intermittent fasting, you are doing fasting, you are doing the good job, but after 7 days, at the end of the 7 days, your person is become exhausted. So they are taking the voracious diet like that. So end results it becomes zero. So you have a good motivation. So motivation will come that but you cannot your appetite is very important thing. You have to respect your appetite. You have to respect your hunger. So good choice of the good food is very important thing. Again, I'm just you just see that I am repeating the language like that. Good food, good food, good food. So you don't make your stomach hungry. You give him something food. Give him a food which is nutritious, and if you can continue that regime, but if you like to go for a extreme that plan will not stay longer.
Not sustainable.
It is not a sustainable thing.
So we have touched upon nutrition, what foods to eat, and what food we should avoid. But do you think knowingly or unknowingly, we are not able to give the children specific nutrition? Is it awareness or lack of awareness? What do you call it? Why does nutritional deficiencies happen even in household which are affluent or which are like financially well to do?
Nutritional deficiency doesn't mean the child is underweight, child is anemic like that. Whatever, usually we think about the poorer society like that. But malnutrition is still existing in the upper classes or the upper, that is your rich people also. Because in the upper categories of our society, we are not taking the good food, balanced food which contains micronutrient, food which contains good quality of the protein and the fat and the carbohydrate is lacking. And it is lacking in every tower of our society. So that's why the people, you have marasmus, kwashiorkor, that is a very much protein deficiency disease which is there in the poorer society. And you are land up in your richer society with obesity, hypertension, diabetes in the other hand. So the main cause is the same thing. It is a nutritional disorder. Some people they have they have obesity, they have insulin resistance, so they have high pressure even in the childhood. It is maybe due to linked with some micronutrient deficiencies from childhood or their lack of good food in their diet, even from the early childhood. So it is important thing. I always ask the parents that from the 2 years onwards, you just show your child the nutritional fact of every food item. That nutritional fact means which is there, it is telling that RDA means your total recommended daily allowance. In the salt section, if we take that counts of one portion of that food, they are taking 50% or 80% of the salt RDA. It means if you would like to take that one fist, hand fist of this your food, so your daily allowance of salt is 80%, it is exhausted. So you cannot take the another fist. So you have to explain it that if you take same thing again, so your daily allowance for the salt is over, you are taking salt more. If you think about the fat, your daily allowance is become lost. So don't take extra. So it's very important thing. Though nutritional fact is very important thing. Sometimes you go to the market, you see some people, they're very much curious, you're curious about the nutritional fact. They're seeing, they are observing thing, whether I will take it or not. No, I'm not taking it. It's a very good job. It is a very good watching that nutritional fact level in every food item. It should be properly seen, and not only for the adult people, for 2 years onward you have to teach your child what it means. RDA means 80% means you have taken the total daily allowance of that food. You don't take more than that, because another 20% is expected to take it from the normal food.
So we touched upon like almost all things related to food, nutrition, good diet, and somewhere we have control over these things. Now I will ask you something where we don't have much control, that is environment. And we know like in India, across the world, pollution is increasing at an alarming rate, and it's impacting almost like heart, eyes, lungs. How is it actually impacting newborn babies, children in terms of lung health and also allergies?
It is actually not a acute poison. If you are staying over this noxious environment, definitely it will harm your body. So the most common organs which are affected become lungs, because we are taking the air. So polluted air is there in the lungs. It will injure the lung cell. So as a result, we have seen some lung diseases like that, in the form of asthma, in the form of chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. The pulmonary cancers is in rise. So these are the effects are there. Not only that, air pollutions is linked with premature birth, low birth weight, baby, some ailments, not only the lungs, all over the body sometimes become there. There are so many diseases linked with air pollutions.
And what about allergies?
Allergies is also there. Allergies means your, it is an, what is called allergy? Allergy means your immune system is become hyperactive. It is taking your more immunity, or it will give you more reactions towards some object. This is called your allergy, no? So this is a term called hypersensitivity reactions. The most allergies are the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. So proteins, they come through the body from our, most likely from our bad skin. Those who have some diseases of the skin, this is called atopic dermatitis. The skin barrier is lost, the protein may come into your body. They come from the inhalations, they come from taking injection, taking food like that. So when your body becomes sensitized to this allergen, this is called, even subsequently, when you are again come across this type of food, this type of pollens like that, so allergic manifestations in the form of your atopic dermatitis, it may be in the form of allergic rhinitis, it may be in the form of food allergies are there. So this is nutshell about the allergy. It may be come from the dust. In dust, there are some mites are there. So that dust mite like ferrinins, like tetanicias, these are the small names, your medical names. This that dust mite, it may be there in your mattress, it may be there in the dust. So repeated exposure with this dust, it may initiate the allergy in the form of asthma. It may form in the form of your atopic dermatitis like that. So this is about asthma. This is about allergy.
Allergies. Now I'll just touch upon some traditional habits. जैसे कहते हैं बच्चे को घिस घिस के तेल मालिश करते हैं, काजल लगाते हैं, नजर टीका, then at the same time, like exposing to sunlight, मतलब तेल मालिश करके, like they are made to lie down under the sunlight.
These are the traditional things.
Yes.
That
How
was,
okay they are? Are they safe?
actually, there are some age-old phenomena.
Hmm.
So sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad. A child of 1 month age, it is very much vulnerable to cold, vulnerable to infections. So better not to touch your baby up to the age of 2 to 3 months, apart from the mother. It is important thing. Don't expose to the body to the wind. So even baby may suffer from cold or cough or any viral infections like that. So too much of tel malish, what you are taking, it is not so of scientific values like that. But সর্ষের তেল মালিশ করলে যেটা হয় সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা এই যে বারবার করে করে মালিশ করছি, এতে আমাদের ওয়ান টাইপ অফ মাসেল টোনটা হয়। Muscle tone is developed. It's a very good thing like that. But if you do it in a naked body in the open environment, so এর থেকে ওর একটা কিন্তু ঠান্ডাও লাগতে পারে, সেটা সম্পর্কে আমাদের ওয়াকিবহাল থাকতে হবে। সো টেল ওয়াশটা কিছু কিছু দিক দিয়ে ভালো, যেমন মাসেল টোনটা ডেভেলপ করে, ইটস ডেফিনেটলি ইটস এ গুড জব। But if you like to do it in a closed room and do it quickly, ওটা করেই আমরা ছেড়ে রাখবো না। So we do it quickly. Every day oil message doesn't sound good. So do it once or twice in a week like that. If your child is not healthy, it is a preterm baby. So baby has got some repeated infection, don't do it. Do it in a healthy baby, do it in a good baby, it's like that. Sometimes it is good. But সর্ষের তেল যেটা বলি, খাঁটি সর্ষের তেল, this is not good. Because oil of mustard oil, sometimes it is allergic to child. Applying mustard oil and having some allergic phenomena, don't repeat it again. Do it cautiously with doctor's advice. And kajol, it doesn't have any scientific rule. Doesn't have. Better to avoid this thing. Janam buti, taking janam buti, it doesn't have any scientific role. Doing any food up to the age of 6 months is bad.
You mentioned about the feeding scenario that at least like for 6 months the baby should be on breast milk, and that is like a non-negotiable.
The most important is giving birth to a baby or take care of the baby. It is not a really big issue. It is not a really big thing. It is not a big work. It is the nature give you the opportunity to have become mother. Nature is giving you the opportunity to have a good baby. Nature's own aim is to deliver in a normal age. So don't be you're afraid of to be parents. Baby care is not a really big robotic science. So baby can easily accommodate itself to be cared like that. And always take the doctors or healthcare's advice is important thing. Exclusive breastfeeding is very important thing.
Since you have recommended dietary regimes, and you're also saying that the parents should be practicing certain kind of behavior so that the child can see and learn. So we talked about preterm babies also, we talked about behavioral changes. What is the best kind of delivery? Because there are many types of deliveries that are available or you have to resort to. But what is your recommendation in terms of child birth and child delivery?
Ask your doctor that if everything is going on, that normal delivery is the best thing. নর্মাল ডেলিভারি ইজ দ্য বেস্ট থিং। আমি সব কিছুই বললাম, একটা জিনিস আমি বললাম না, সেটা হচ্ছে সায়েন্স অ্যাবাউট মাইক্রোবায়োটা। সো আমাদের নর্মাল শরীরে একটা অদ্ভুত, ইট ইজ অলসো গিভিং ইউ অ্যাস্টোনিশিং ডেটা that we have a good bacteria in our system, from mouth to anus, from your in our skin, in our respiratory tract. There is evidence of good bacteria. You will be astonished The total good bacteria's weight is 22 kgs. 2 kg of, if your weight is
Okay.
58, your 2 kgs of your good bacteria is there in your body. So mother's vagina, it is also a well-becued place that baby will go through it. That nature is also giving a reconstruction over the vagina, that what type of good bacteria should be there in the vagina. So baby will pass through that vagina, and baby will take some fluid, not only in the vagina, in the womb. So baby will pass through an environment which contains good bacteria. So that good bacteria in the body that eventually grow up in different parts of your, in ages of your baby, your life, the good bacteria are changing. It is seen that good bacteria during birth time, those who are vaginally delivered, they have a good bacteria. They are giving signals in the body to have a good physical health, mental health, and everything like that. On the contrary, when a baby is delivered, unfortunately, there are so many conditions that doctors compelled to do the cesarean section to save the mother, save the child. So it doesn't mean that every that delivery should be there in the vaginal delivery like that, because science has improved. There are so many conditions that vaginal delivery couldn't do. The cesarean section could not be avoided. But unfortunately, in the cesarean sections, contrary to the vaginal delivery, the vaginal exposure is not there in the baby. So baby is coming from a rough environment, coming from the skin environment, from the skin environment. In the skin, the good bacteria are different. There are some staphylococcal group, and in that vagina there are some bifidobacterial group. So that type of your good bacteria, it is not developed in the body. So it is also seen that the baby who have a good bacteria right from the good that your xenodes of the birth, they are signaled or they are programmed to have a good life. And another thing, that if you are giving antibiotics, so you are destroying the good bacteria in your body, you will be astonished that single antibiotic treatment can disrupt the good bacteria's growth in the gut. And even the good bacteria, it will take 6 to 7 months, even years, to develop a normal good bacteria.
So this is the last question. We talked about everything. So the last question is, what are some of the non-negotiables that parents who are expecting, or parent who have just become parents, or who are even contemplating to become parents, more than the child, more than pediatrics, what is your advice for parents and grandparents?
So my take-home message is that if anybody is, or from phone, anyone, it may be doctor, it may be your friend, it may be anyone like that, take the medicines, take the antibiotic, don't take. Before taking antibiotic, you have to think 100 times whether I am giving the antibiotics like that. I'm telling you that antibiotics are good. These are lifesavers. But there are so many conditions that without antibiotic you cannot survive. So I am not against, I am doing any talks against antibiotic, but irrational antibiotic that will kill your good bacteria in the body. So the scenario will develop that is called dysbiosis. Means there are some your biota in your good microbes, these are disturbed. It is seen that so many diseases like obesity, hypertension, insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, your insulin resistance. So this is very much linked with your good bacteria in the body. So good food is important. So it is not a tough job to live in noxious environment, but keep your eyes open, keep your brain open, and keep your knowledge open. Not only the knowledge open, if you will implement your knowledge. So that is the last word. Thank you.
Thank you so much.